Welcome to the channel. This is Ken I.D. Ernest, back with more social commentary. I mean, where do we begin? I'm going to take a look at this list. I mean, we have a plethora of topics to get into. I haven't posted in a while, and I was trying to figure out where did I want to go with my next conversation. We could talk about Will Smith coming out with a new rap album. Then there was Kanye West dressed up as a black grand wizard. Oh boy. Then we have Stephen A. Smith with the possibility of running for president in 2028. Do you see what happens when I disappear? I disappear and then all of the bull goes down. We can also talk about the recent celebrities that were sent out to space.
Oh, the moon. You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
There's quite a few topics to discuss, but I don't think I want to get into that. I want to talk about YouTube, and I want to talk about this algorithm because the algorithm is at play again. You know, this is tough. I want to make YouTube great again. I want to take it back to 2012, 2011, when you can get on here and just do your own thing. And I'm just like so disappointed how far removed we are from that time period. We're in a time right now with YouTube where there's millions of creators. There's millions of people doing podcasts. There's just millions of videos to choose from. And it seems like right now YouTube has it to where they're really trying to show a lot of recommendations. So if you subscribe to someone, I personally subscribe to only a select few people. And when they post new videos, it's rare that I see their videos in my feed. I'll see videos from everywhere else. If I watch a certain podcast, I'll start seeing a whole bunch of podcasts popping up. If I watch some kind of, fitness video, I start seeing a whole bunch of fitness videos pop up. But the moment that the person I subscribe to releases a video, I got to go down that rabbit hole to find them. And that's tough. See, I'm one of these content creators that I'm not going to, beg and plead for people to like and subscribe and share and comment. Although that helps the algorithm, I'm kind of old school. If you like it, you'll subscribe. If you like the video, you'll hit the thumbs up. I just don't think begging and pleading for approval and validation is necessary. And it's why I'm not really on social media. I just was never caught up into the whole taking a whole bunch of pics and putting a whole bunch of hashtags up there and begging for people to like my pic or my video or my reel or whatever it is. I just grew out of that. I don't like the feeling. So we're at a time right now with YouTube where the algorithm has some of us walking on eggshells. Some channels have now started to mute out cuss words. There was talk that you couldn't say a cuss word within the first 2 minutes of the video or the first minute and 30 seconds, whatever, or YouTube will flag you. There's certain words you can't use. Then there's the trickery of subscribers disappearing. Some people argue that that doesn't happen. It does happen. I've seen it with my own eyes. I look at my analytics every now and then, and you'll see one number here for your subscriber count, and then it dips. Whether those are bot subscribers and YouTube is trying to clean it out, whatever. But the point is, it happens. I've seen views say one number and then weeks later say a different number. And most of the time that number might decline. Why are the numbers declining? And this is happening across the board on YouTube, across the board. I don't know what this platform is trying to accomplish. They've allowed basically all walks of life on here, as far as celebrities, as far as athletes, as far as whomever. Everyone's on here with a channel, and it's hard to compete with those likes. So if you're starting a channel right now and you're trying to be bigger than life, just be okay with a modest subscriber count and moderate views, because you may not get 100,000 views for a video talking about the same topic that Joe Blow is talking about, or this athlete's podcast, who just started. There's certain athletes who can't speak a lick of English. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. They don't enunciate words well. They don't pronounce words well. And I'm not saying you got to be an English scholar to have a podcast, but you can't compete with that person because they played in the league before. They know the trickery of this algorithm. They know what to do. They have a great following, you know? So if you're starting out, don't try to compete. Just do your thing. Be okay with 150 subscribers. Be okay if your video gets only 500 to 1,000, views. Be okay if there's only a few comments. Work with that, because it's almost impossible to compete with the likes of these celebrities and big time YouTubers. It's not saying you won't get there. You put in the work, you may get there. But I mean, is it really conducive to your health to pump out 2 and 3 videos a day? Whether it's 2 long form and 1 short, or 2 shorts and 1 long form, is it beneficial? Can you find enough content to talk about 3 to 4 times a day, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week? There's a such thing as burnout. And that's why I take my time with this channel. I've said this before. I started a channel back in maybe 2000, I want to say 9, 10, back when YouTube was great, in my opinion. And I didn't really understand the whole concept of getting paid from here. Google AdSense sent me something maybe 2012 that I was qualified for, to get paid. And I thought it was like a little, scam. So I declined it. I just didn't bother. And then I disappeared from making content for quite some time. It's about 2018. And then I came back. But point being, it was a different world back then. You can just really make 1 or 2 videos every few months. And that one video would get traction over and over and over. All depends on what it was, the content, of course. But it can gain traction, and you can disappear from YouTube, come back and see that same video at like tens of thousands of views. Poor analog quality and everything. Now there's so many things involved to just get a strong fan base. And I'm very appreciative of what I've been able to grow in recent months. I disappeared for a long time. I restarted this channel last fall, and doubled, my subscribers just sticking to a schedule. I do this as a hobby, but perhaps one day, it does grow into something. But I'm going at my pace because I don't like the rat race that YouTube has become. A lot of people make videos about the 9 to 5 rat race. There's a rat race on YouTube. There really is. Now you have people who were blowing up in recent years complaining about the algorithm as well. You go to certain channels of people who were, had videos going viral, and now they're lucky to get a few thousand views. These are people who are getting tens of thousands. Again, I hate that term viral, but their videos would catch on. Now they're making videos like, hey, what's happening? I'm sure they're still getting paid every month, getting a nice little check, but they're unhappy. So imagine if the big timers are complaining. Imagine what's happening to the new content creators. People who are just starting out, who are lucky to get a handful of views. On this channel where I primarily focus on social commentary and just making a mockery of life as we know it, because there's a lot of silliness happening in the world. I try to make light of it because it keeps me laughing. But you can make a video on a hot topic and then have a lot of momentum on that video and try to carry it into your next video. In your next video, crickets. There's something tricky about that. I don't want to hear, oh, you just got to make better videos and you just got to use better cameras and you got to use better, tags. And I don't want to hear none of that. You got to make better thumbnails. Listen, there are creators out here who make the basic of basic thumbnails and can have a video get 50,000 views within, 24 hours. It's not about any of that. Anyone who's in denial and doesn't think that YouTube at times works against the creator, I got a bridge to sell you. They do. So again, if you're trying to get into this and you really want to focus on making content, make what's best for you. Make something that you're going to enjoy coming back to week after week or day after day. And the old saying in the movie The Natural, if you build it, they will come. The fan base will grow. Try not to get discouraged by the algorithm. It's tricky. I'm here to tell you. I've seen videos. I've made videos that I'm just like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And then you sit back and you wait a few days, then you wait a week, and nothing happens. And it's discouraging. It makes you want to just hang it up if this is something you really want to pursue. Thankfully, like I said, it's a hobby of mine. I've always talked. I've always recorded myself before there was even platforms like this. And I just try to put two and two together. I'm an author, so my brain is going a million places at time, and I like to express that on camera sometimes. So it's a little hot in this car. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this one short. Don't get discouraged. This algorithm will jack you up mentally, emotionally. You might be waking up in cold sweats trying to figure out why this one video didn't blow up, why no one's leaving a comment, this, that, the third. It's tricky. Hang in there.